Good morning. My name is Freddie Drennan. I'm a data optimization engineer with a company called Digital First Media in Denver. I have two very active puppies right behind me, so I apologize if they're a little bit loud. I'm going to help you get set up with RStudio Server and RStudio, like the Shiny Server. One caveat is that this is, come on, let's go. One caveat is that I'm doing this on Mac and Mac. And there's some extra steps that make it a little bit more complicated to do on Windows. So it's the case where you actually have to log into the terminal. Okay, I'm going to throw the bone downstairs and see if they'll just follow it. Okay, all right, so let's get started. First, we're going to sign in. One thing to note is that I believe her name is Kimberly Coffey, has created an excellent overview of setting this up. There were a couple instances where I needed to do something different, and that's going to be covered here as well. Okay, am I able to sign in here? Okay. All right, sign in, sign in. Okay, we're going to look for EC2. Click on it. We're going to launch an instance. We're going to select Ubuntu. This is where we decide the CPUs and memory. This is actually editable. That's even a word later on. And I'll show you how to do that whenever we get to that point. Next, we're going to configure the instance details. And he brought the bone upstairs. Of course he did. Okay. The next thing, we're going to skip here, add storage. You could pick, like 30 gigs or something. Next, add tags. Skip. Next, configure security group. This is important. We're going to add two rules. Each are going to be anywhere, and then this is going to be 3838, and this one is going to be 8787. These are the ports for Shiny Server and RStudio Server, respectively. All right, so we've got our micro instance, and we also have 30 gigs here. These are our ports, and we are good to launch. First thing, we need to create a key pair. This is kind of like the password, allowing you to SSH into the terminal. We're going to create a new key pair, and I'm just going to call this AWS example. You could call it Shiny or Studio, whatever you want to call it. Okay, next we're going to download this key pair. Oh, I walked through this earlier. AWS I double checked everything before I started this. Okay, download key pair, and then launch instance. So Amazon is getting everything started, but there's a couple things that we're going to need to do before we can actually get into the server. I'm going to open up my terminal here, and what you'll notice is that it's probably in your download folder wherever you downloaded this AWS key file. We're going to have to change the modifications. The reason being is that because the secure shell, you can't necessarily log in without it having the right permissions. I mean, I don't know. It's my best explanation. So let's do that. We're going to chmod 400 aws r.pem. Okay, and then we see that the modification, permissions have been changed here. All right, next thing to do. It appears that our instance here is now up and running. Oh, it's still initializing, so let's just give it a second here. I don't think clicking this is going to make any difference on the amount of time that it takes to spin up. It feels good. These dogs are going to be the death of me. Hey, y'all go downstairs. Come on. And of course, you don't listen. Okay, I'm just waiting until this is set up and good to go. skip ahead if you want to, where you see any changes, then backtrack, I guess. I can't fast forward. It really does feel good to hit this and hope it comes up, but hey, not crazy. We got a new boxer puppy about 4 months ago, and he's just active as can be. I guess I'll just wait. If I pet them, they'll stop barking. I'll have to do all this one-handed or something. All right, let's just see if we can connect. Why not? So here's connect, and we've already done this step. So now we just copy paste this while in the same directory that our key file is in. Oops. Yes. All right. So it looks like it's up and running, even though it still says initializing. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Okay, well, let's get started. First thing to do is go to this website, which I'll link in the YouTube video. And we've done most of the steps, except now we're going to come down here and just do some copy paste. So this is to actually install Shiny. Here, this is adding one of the sources to the sources list. And that's done. So then let's just keep copy paste. We're not going to copy paste everything though. Like we don't need this package FPP unless you need it. And then we're going to actually install a newer version of Shiny Studio, or Shiny Server, sorry. And we'll just, I guess, hang out here while this gets done. Listen to my dogs bark. Just updating everything now. The instance itself, nothing to do with R. Okay, here, just hit OK, and OK. And next we'll install RBase after this. Here in a second, whenever we install some of these R packages, this is my preferred way of installing R packages here with AWS. Whenever I install packages in the terminal in RStudio server, Shiny can't seem to find them. So if anyone has any explanation for that, cool. If not, just install them this way and then it'll work for you. Or should work for you. I don't know. I can't say that. Okay. Takes a few minutes. This is just running a little R script from the terminal here to install Shiny. Then we'll do our markdown. Now my dogs are literally under my feet, so I guess I have a footrest now. Until they start biting my toes. Okay. So after Shiny's installed, come over here and we will install our markdown. They really are obnoxious. They've been quiet all morning. Okay. Until now. All right, our markdown. And while our markdown is installing, let's not use her commands. Let's go to just Shiny Server RStudio, and we're going to install the newest version. Download open source. Should have done everything else except for these commands here. So once this is done, we'll get it installed. Okay. Oh, that is so wrong. I already done that. Did that. Already completed the task. Should learn English. Okay, Alt Z, no, Window key Z, Command Z, Control Z. Oh, Christ. How do you do this? Exit, exit. Okay, hold on. I thought there was a key command where you could get out of these things. Okay. Sorry, don't do that. Okay. It's just like, just randomly type in things. Okay, so we're going to install this now. It's kind of like me on Stack Overflow. I feel like I'd lose my job if Stack Overflow didn't exist. Just randomly copying and pasting commands written by a third grader somewhere, hoping that it works. Okay, yes. Okay, so now that we've done this, we should actually be able to go to our instance. So which one is this? This is AWS R, so we could actually copy paste this IP address, and if everything is working correctly, which we hope it is, we type that in, colon, and then 3838, and we should have our Shiny server. Shiny would be installed correctly if this works, and then our markdown is installed correctly if this works. So I recently found out that you can actually run Shiny apps in our markdown, which is pretty cool. Okay, so that's done. But we're not done yet. Let's come over here and install Shiny Server. Where's it at? You know what? RStudio server. It's faster to find things on Google than at the actual website. And we're just going to copy paste here. Wait, we don't need to do that because we've already done that. Let's do wget and then install. Yes. I don't know what you want, but yes. Okay. Now, if we go back, we've got :8787. Now I've got RStudio, but we don't know how to log in yet. So let's fix that. Let's go back to the terminal, and we are going to run. I've got my notes here somewhere. Okay. So we're going to do sudo add user and then pick your username. So I'm just going to say RStudio, and then pick a password. Don't forget it. I don't need to remind myself of my name or any of that. So it's all correct. Just press enter all the way through. Now we have a user. Cool, but we don't have I don't know, sudo or privileges. So we're going to do that, and this is how I figured out how to do it. I don't know if there's a better way. I'm sure that there is. We're going to do sudo vim / etc and then sudoers, sudoers. We're going to open up this file. We're going to scroll down, and then right under here where it says allow members of group sudo, we're just going to hit I to insert stuff using vim. Then we're going to type it in, % RStudio all, and this is RStudio is, whatever username you decided, and just copy what is exactly above. To get out of vim, here's a quick lesson, because it will take you forever if not. We're going to do escape and then hit shift : WQ exclamation point, enter. And now cat etc sudo cat. It's right there. Okay, cool. And now let's try this. So we've got RStudio and then your password. Now we're logged in. And we could see if sudo works. I don't know. Sudo apt git install calsay. No. I think it's going to save in a different location anyways, and it wouldn't work. But what we can do to test it out is let's install ggplot. So let's just go back to that original file, copy and paste, and if it's working correctly, then it should open up a script and run, and now you've got sudo privileges. So technically, I mean, you could access your AWS instance without even going in and doing the SSH stuff. You can just log into the newest version of RStudio and use the terminal there, which is kind of cool. So, most people aren't necessarily going to be using RStudio server. Most of the time you'll be developing locally. And so what I wanted to do was show 2 ways that you could just get your Shiny apps running. Hopefully this will get done soon. Maybe I should have waited a minute to do ggplot. Is it done? Nope, it's never done. Okay, now we're done. Okay, so one thing we could do is we could just we could do a Shiny app here. So we can go to new project and then directory, Shiny web application, directory name. Let's just call this Shiny app. Now the thing to know is that you have to put your Shiny app in the right spot. So this is just created a Shiny app. Let's open up the terminal. List everything in there. You can see that you've got this app here. But what you need to know is where to put the Shiny application. So Say you did develop a Shiny application here, you could simply just copy the application to the correct folder. So we can do sudo cp shiny app / and this is important, srv shiny server shiny-server and then shiny app. Oh, sorry. Everyone saw this except for me, right? What am I doing wrong? No. What if I just did cp? I don't think that. What is going on here? Everything works until it doesn't. I don't know, let's new project, it's just new directory for projects, whatever. Let's see. Terminal. Yeah, it's working. Okay, maybe I just need to add the -r for recursive. But I don't remember doing that, so, and maybe it was because I just started a new directory and hadn't saved everything. It's one or the other. Okay, so now if we looked at this Shiny app here, let's copy paste this IP, come over here, and type 3838 / Shiny app. Now you have your old faithful Geyser data application running on your brand new Shiny server. But let's not quit there. So this is, I wanted to show you guys how I like to install applications. So typically we work locally. So we can start up our studio. Actually, I can just tell you. You can set up your RStudio server, sorry, your Shiny app, here in RStudio, right? Push it to GitHub, and once it's actually on GitHub, just go to the repository and then clone or download, clone the repository, and then either here, actually we'll just do it here, same cd srv shiny server ls. Okay, so let's remove Shiny app, and then sudo rm-rf shiny app. Okay, and then sudo git clone. Here. Now we have our Shiny app right there, and come over here. 3838 Shiny app. Actually, I don't want to close out of this yet. So let's copy this, copy 3838 Shiny. And there it is. Obviously, like the name of the folder determines the file path up there. So we can say like move sudo move -r Shiny app to my app. Oh, maybe it's not a recursive thing. So now this won't work. Shouldn't work. But if we typed in my app. Okay, y'all are driving me nuts. Goodness gracious. There, should be working. Okay, couple other, I guess, maybe house cleaning things, just so you are aware. This IP address here will change. Let's see, this is AWS right here. Will change if you decide to shut it down. So what you can do is you can come in here, if you hit instance state, and then stop, it will stop your AWS instance. But then you can come in here to instance settings, and you can change the instance type. So this is where you would go in and say, say you wanted, like, I don't know, with AWS, it's like I want 4 billion gigabytes and 3 million cores. You can come in here and select your supercomputer from the future. The other thing is that, so like I said, if you stop it, then this IP is going to change, and then this file path is going to change, and it's going to get really annoying really quickly if you have a link to somewhere, and then this changes, and you have to go update everything every single time. So come down to Elastic IPs. I'm already using one, but you would either here with allocate new address or actions, associate address, I believe. Link up an IP address. It should just be like a two-step process here. An IP address with your EC2 instance, and then it won't change every time you shut it down. So say you want to do some like crazy machine learning stuff or whatever, and you're going to use our parallel or something, then go in, increase it. You have to pay a little bit extra. But then once you're done, shut it down, then restart and start a smaller instance, and it's that easy. So I hope that this was useful. I'm sorry that I had crazy dogs, but if you have any questions, let me know. I love this stuff. I love R, and maybe beginner questions aren't going to bother me at all. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Obviously, I don't know everything. I'm just a guy. So, all right. Well, it was good. Let me know if you